Hi, I'm going to start a mini-series, might become a big series, about all the words that I use on the live and in my terms. And the reason why I felt like this was important is because when we don't use those terms in a way that resonates with our energy and how we're exploring, and it makes us kind of stay in a very tiny trap, kind of, I've tried to help with that. So there is something that happens when people talk about gods. It is people who are used to the traditional way of talking to, not talking, but understanding gods. And usually it's people who don't have any luck talking to gods. They're very annoyed, and they think it's because they're above or below them, or, above them in the sense where they'd say, oh, well, it's made up, because everything's made up. Just who made them up, right? And so what I'd like to talk about today is original energies. I used that word because if you keep saying gods for everything, it starts to get very convoluted, because when you talk to a god, an angel, or a demon, or other things, usually those kind of things like a spirit guide or an ancestor, they are there to support you and help you find within their energy range and their job role how to handle decisions that you're making in your everyday life. They could be spiritual decisions, but they have to be your everyday life spiritual decisions. So if you want to start helping people and start a practice where you help people spiritually, that would be something you would talk to a god, an angel, a demon, a spirit guide, one of your teams, ancestors. Original energy is about exploring how things work about anything, but very expanded, because their energies are expanded. So I have a series. I will tag that series below. I think I can put 3 videos because it's 3. Yeah, I'll put the 3 videos below in the little things. And basically, when you watch those videos, it will explain that, who and what are the gods. But this is going to be an analogy that will help you as well. So the analogy they gave me was, there's an ancient text that's found. And they, probably tablets, because, so it's so ancient. They get in 2 different people to translate it. And so one is French and one is an English speaking. And later there's probably other languages, right? But let's say there's just those 2. And the way that they translate it is not just translating it word by word. These kind of translations, each person has to understand things, right? So if they understand, so let's say the French person understands, they not only have to understand the text, the time period, the context, how that language works and operates, but also they need to understand their own culture, which they do because they're French-speaking translators. And so the text that they're going to do is going to benefit and explain that bigger information that people that are just walking down the street normally wouldn't understand, right? And the same thing with the English translator. Now, this is what gods are versus the original energy. So the original energy would be the ancient text, and the people who are translating would be the gods. And so later, when humans were having trouble even talking to gods, they have priestesses, shamans, all kinds of things like that, right? So then people started to do that kind of thing. Then as time goes on, they started to do mediumship, because in the 1900s, they decided that that is a thing that they wanted to do, and they didn't understand, yes, their experiences are valid, and yes, they still are valid, but they didn't understand that they are talking to bigger energies. They're talking to bigger energies that are a representation of the life of who's living, because it's all time is now. They're not dead. They're just other versions, usually. You can do that right now. You can talk to, if you have a grandfather that lives in a different country, you can talk to them in a meditation. Like, even if you can't, you'll end up doing it. If you want it, you'll end up doing it in a dream, and you just won't remember. So anyway, so I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions about it further, I can help on the live. Our lives are every single day, Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, and you can join and hop on the live and ask more details about this. Also, if it's a personal thing, please remember personal things. Don't get discouraged, but personal things about your development, experiences you've had, things like that to learn about and to apply this information. Anything you see on my page will always be in a session. So feel free to book a session with me. Also feel free to have a look on my website of all the other offerings and readings and things like that. They might be exciting too. There's also a Patreon that has, a growing encyclopedia, a spiritual and energy encyclopedia. So yeah, and also my name's Nicole. I didn't introduce because I wanted to get the important stuff first. Bye, see you soon.